Welcome back to Sims Complete. I'm your host, Matt Sims, alongside the man himself, Double Sticks, Phil Sims. We got a lot of action to talk about, big guy. We got coaching hires. We got the playoffs. I mean, it's everything all at once. We got college football playoffs coming up soon, but we don't do college right now. We're just going to keep focusing on the NFL. So let's start the conversation with the coaching carousel. I think the big news, right, is Coach Harbaugh relieved of his duties after 18 years of service with the Baltimore Ravens, a Super Bowl champion. Has developed, man, what can we say? He's one of the best coaches that we have in the modern era, right? And definitely a guy that has Hall of Fame-like credentials to his career with his success. And right after he got fired or relieved of his duties, depending on how you word it, 7 other franchises called inquiring about him to take over as the next head coach of those respected teams. Big guy, was there anybody more shocking than Harbaugh to you during this early cycle of head coach firings?
I would say this. I was not shocked he got fired. I thought it was about 50-50. I followed it pretty close during the year. Think about this, Matt, when they had all those shots during the year of him standing on the sidelines, I don't know if I ever saw him say a word. And he just was standing there, and there was not many expressions on his face. So there had to be a little something there. And the fact they got off to a bad start, they didn't make the playoffs. Lamar Jaxson, you know what really sealed it for me? Probably when the game was over, they asked Lamar about John Harbaugh, and he wouldn't comment on it. I mean, that was a fastball right down the middle, and you hit it out of the park. That's what it told me.
Okay.
And so, but you're right. Hall of Fame coach, great organizer, has his finger on everything. Did many of their games over the years. He was a very interesting guy to talk to. I'll tell a real quick story. He would talk openly about the game with us or with me, and what we're going to do, what we expect them to do. And I would say, yeah, John Harbaugh told me this, whatever. So during the Super Bowl, there's Big Jim. He's in the room. He won't say anything. And finally he looks at me and goes, does my brother really tell you all that stuff you talk about? And I said, yeah. And he goes, he couldn't believe it. He just goes, really? I mean, Jim wouldn't even tell us if he would take the ball or kick off in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Just, which was really funny, but definitely one's here and the other one's on the other side, different guys. But John Harbaugh's going to have many, many offers to be a head coach somewhere else. And what a great career. You said it all.
And, going forward now, I mean, is he number one on the list for the New York Giants as far as this carousel goes?
I think a lot is what the Giants looking for. And are they looking for a guy to set the tone for every player, the organization, all that which John Harbaugh has done? Or are they going to look for either a defensive-minded coach or an offensive-minded coach? I think the Giants are going to do many interviews. I wouldn't even begin to even guess what they're really thinking because I don't know. And a lot will depend, of course, Matt, on these interviews, what people said and how much you believe and you really know that they can help change the direction of the franchise, which, of course, is an understatement.
And then how much emphasis do you think, let's say we'll put it towards the Giants' perspective on this conversation, right, big guy? Let's just, for this hypothetical, you are dialed in with the organization and you're actively a part of this decision-making. Do you emphasize the best guy for the job? Are you more focused on offense? Are you more focused on defense? Or you just want to see, hey, someone that's quality, they're a leader of men and you believe in what they can do as far as building a culture? Where are you kind of as far as how you would approach this if you're hiring a new head coach?
Yeah, I want it all, Matt. I mean, I do. I want it all. That's what I had and what I had for 8 years with Bill Parcells. He was all over the offense. He was all over the defense. He crushed the special teams, and it was a daily thing. And so that's what I want. I want somebody that's got his finger on the whole team, on both sides of the ball. I don't care if he's calling plays or not. Look, I think if the Giants offered this job to many coaches, they'll all say yes because of the quarterback.
Right.
And, Jaxson Dart, he didn't live up. No, that's not the word. he lived up and plus, and when you watched him play. And,
Right.
there we were the last game of the year. I watched him play there, and I just went, wow, he definitely got drafted later than he deserved to be. Should have been higher in the first round.
Right.
Of course, I don't know if I was on that bandwagon or not. But, yeah, the quarterback, a lot of pieces with the Giants. You hear it on TV constantly now. They got defensive front. They need secondary help. But the O-line was much better than everybody expected this year. They love the left tackle. They got a running back. So,
yeah,
it's a desirable job. It really is. And
yeah.
I think there'll be some interviews where the guy's sitting there going, man, I want this damn job.
Right.
Okay. So
Which
how do
is
you
good.
feel about it?
Which is good, right? Like that's what Giants fans and faithful we want. And of course, for the Giants fan base, yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from for that too. I was just kind of curious to see where your thoughts are, and if you put an emphasis on one side of the football over the other. The cool thing about Coach Harbaugh is that well, he's technically, I guess, a special teams guy, right? So he really is just great at kind of covering everything and never really identifying with one specific side of the football. Just some names, right, that are high on the list here. Of course, Kevin Stefanski is a part of that list, which, some people feel differently about him. I have tremendous faith in Kevin Stefanski to be a great head coach and a great play caller as well. Brian Flores, Jesse Minter, the young defensive coordinator out there with the Chargers. Clint Kubiak's name has been circling around a little bit more. Jeff Hafley's name. Cliff Kingsbury, another name. And that was strange, too. The Washington Commanders essentially parting ways with both offensive and defensive coordinator and saying they kind of mutually say, like, hey, it's time to move on. So I thought that was a little interesting, especially with the young quarterback. Mike McCarthy, of course, his name will always be in the mix. Chris Shula is another name that's been popping up recently, too. And, of course, Vance Joseph. So got a great mix of offense, defensive guys, some more guys that have had that opportunity to be a head coach before, getting a second shot now. And then some guys, too, getting their first opportunity to really be in this mix. In your opinion, out of the young guys there, who impresses you? Do you like hearing guys like names like Jesse Minter and Clint Kubiak, or is it maybe a little too soon for them and maybe just need a little bit more time before they really are ready to be those guys?
Yes, you said it. They need more time in my eyes. And it's,
Okay.
I can't say that I know them all and studied them really close. No, I didn't. I don't want them. I want John Harbaugh. I want Stefanski. I want Lou Anarumo, guys that I know that are go in there and put their fingers on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, let's say they hire, just for instance, if it's Kevin Stefanski, if they hire him on offense, it's going to be great. Now, who's the defensive guy? Can we get somebody equal to that? Lou Anarumo, whatever, Steve Spagnuolo, defensive guys. They're going to do their thing. It's going to improve the defense tremendously. But now, can we get the coordinator too? I mean, there's a lot to this. And I know you want the best of each position. Sometimes that's hard to get. But, yeah, I want an established coach in the league to where when he walks in the room, he's the man.
Right.
And, so this is going to be interesting. I would not, what's the word for it? Joe Shane, I wouldn't want to be in his position just because there's a lot of good candidates out there, and you got to pick the right one for the situation, the team and everything, what you got there already. So it's going to be interesting. This could be a pretty drawn out thing, Matt. What do you think about that? I mean, I don't think they'll make this decision in the next 10 days or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, unless they were just kind of crossing their fingers for someone like a Mike Tomlin or Harbaugh to just suddenly just fall into the laps, and there was that genuine excitement by both parties to say, hey, like, let's do this, let's make it work. Of course, we have to go through the process of the interviews and all of that, which is great. And, who knows, maybe someone that was kind of just like, we're checking a box here just to interview him just because we're doing a favor for this agent or whatever. Maybe someone does come in there and kind of sweep them off their feet, and woos them a little bit, right? And gets them excited. And it'll be interesting. But the good thing is that you can get, I think, a veteran head coach and still be at the top of the line for maybe someone who doesn't get that head coaching opportunity, but is more than excited to be the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator for some of the young talent that the Giants have. So That'll be the tough job for Joe Schoen, is sifting through just that best recipe, right, of a coaching staff for the roster that they've built over the past few years.
Yeah. Well said, man. I tell you, every year it's like clockwork, and it doesn't matter what happens in the NFL. There's going to be a minimum of 6 people fired, and it goes usually up to 8. So I think right now, what are they? They at 7?
I want to say we're at 8, I believe.
Yeah.
7. You're right. 7.
So,
And of course, the Giants and the Titans job has been open for an extended period of time now. We've seen the other ones open up here late. We kind of knew that the Browns is on its way. The Pete Carroll, after 1 year, it's like shocking and not shocking at the same time, just because of how bad they were. The Atlanta Falcons with their strong finish, disappointing that Raheem Morris is out there, but he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. He would be someone that I would be kind of keeping my eye on for defensive coordinator here with the New York Giants, just with his experience and all that. The Arizona Cardinals job, of course, is open. So we'll see how it all plays out. And yeah, one last thing here on this coaching thing. Do you think with the Ravens situation and the Steelers situation with Mike Tomlin, was that game basically like a coin flip to who was the first guy to maybe lose their opportunity to be a head coach? I mean, it was that game literally for both guys who are in similar situations, saying, if we win, I get to keep my job for maybe another week or two. If we lose, it's coming to an end.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'll just make it quick this way, that Mike Tomlin, no matter what happened, I think he still controls everything, and they're going to listen to him. Does he want to go? Does he want to coach? Do you need more? Whatever it is, they're going to give it to him. So, really just one thing. I know the missed kick and all that, but the one thing when you look at that, well, I'll talk about it later with the Steelers. Some stuff I saw in that game that just had to make you believe and say, Mike Tomlin still has his team under his thumb.
Right.
He can get them up and do whatever. The question is, can they draft better, do all that? That's probably what they need to do. But that was an interesting game. And so, yeah, I think John Harbaugh, if he wins, of course, they're not going to let him go. What if he went to the AFC Championship game? He's going to stay.
Right.
So that was my surprise pick of all to go to the Super Bowl, was the Baltimore Ravens.
I think a lot of people felt that same way as you did. If they get into the dance, why not? For them to have that opportunity to win it all.
Yeah.
Don't feel like people had that same exact feeling about the Steelers getting in as they did the Ravens for whatever reason. But all right, well, that's all we got for the coaching carousel for the New York Giants, of course, and all these head coaches that are available. Interesting times. We're the New York Giants, right? We're in New York, and hopefully we'll be able to attract the right guy for the opportunity to go along with Joe Schoen in building out this franchise a little bit more and getting back to our success.
Yeah, let me say this, Matt. The last game the Giants played, I talked about Jaxson Dart a little, and I heard all those people going, hey, what if they get the first pick of the draft? They'll take Mendoza, trade Jaxson Dart. And I'm just going, oh, please be quiet. There's just no way that would happen. We've got what we think already. He showed enough during the year that he is the man. But we're going to take a chance on something we really don't know when it comes to the NFL. No way. So that at least that's out off of TV, and I don't have to read it when I read about all the football teams and everything. That was just crazy. I mean,
well, the good thing was the Giants won, so it doesn't even matter now because he's not going to be there by the time they pick.
Well, you're right. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
but yes, at that quick moment, it was an interesting take. I definitely had a quick thought, and hey, we'll go from there. So
yeah, I know
it was interesting. It was an interesting thought. I can't lie. Now, let's take a little break here as we transition into this weekend's matchups.